So 63,000 of y'all decided you wanted to watch a video of me not shoot a deer. I don't really know what that means, but we thought that maybe we should at least talk about this a little bit and go through like the hunt and what happened. So maybe we can all learn a little bit about maybe how to at least kill this buck or something, or just laugh at my mistakes or whatever. But while this is going on, Tyler is also shooting a giant Texas public land buck. So
I'm shooting at all the bucks.
All of them. You shot at one and shot one. So there's a link in the description. Go hit that later if you want to watch that. But we'll get this vid going here. I'm actually moving from a different location in the morning where I saw some does. It was kind of a hot day. I'm not feeling great, but I really like this spot, and I walk in to see some pretty good stuff.
I like how you got a camera in the camera. Like in the video.
There you go. Camera.
Like now you know you're a camera hunter.
That's right. I'll make this big right here.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Look at you.
You
just
can
observing trees.
That's right, dude.
What are you looking for there? Trying to find a spot to hang?
I think I'm thinking about how to get my saddle platform 13 foot up.
Yeah.
And I think that's the tree I ended up sitting in.
That's a part of kind of. Got a deer coming at you already?
Yeah, already, dude. I just set up.
Was it the big buck?
No, that's does. It's the one that I end up. I'm thinking he's a shooter, and then he gets closer and he's not.
Oh.
But and we'll see more of him later in the video. He looks good right there. You're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
He's 60 yards right there. But then you get a better look at him. You're like, oh, okay, he's a 3-year-old, you know. But like enough to like get your blood going whenever you first. And I'm still checking on it. It sounds
way better.
Because I'm not sure, you know.
Right.
I just got that glance at him through there, and his body's big.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hoping he's 13 inches wide.
Yeah,
right?
kind of am. And then I get this angle. I'm like, he's kind of borderline width-wise, and just not, you know, it's not super late in the hunt. We're about halfway through, so I'm like, man, there's a chance I got a better chance at a better buck here. You know, it's early November. You know.
Got a nice big old chest on him and everything.
Exactly. Yep. And you can see persimmon trees in the background right there. He's walking underneath some right there, and I'm set up over a few more. Sorry, autofocus doesn't work very good through cottonwoods, but I set up in this spot because there was persimmons around, and there's kind of a pinch right there through a creek. I was thinking that I'd be set up in the creek crossing. I'm set up on trails. He just happens to kind of parallel the creek as opposed to cross the creek right there. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of foreshadowing to how this works.
Suddenly.
Huge. Just stands up out of the pasture, man. Kind of similar to your buck, what happens there. Growing at him. He's probably 350 yards away or something. I don't know. He's a long ways off. And I kind of always progressively go, in this scenario, with the least spooky noise to the most spooky. So... You'll hear me rattle in a second.
What's he doing right there?
He's just rutting.
Kind of
being a bucky.
Around.
Yeah, he's rubbing on that little tree. And
yeah.
Just, they do that when they get up from beds, it seems. They just kind of want to get up and kind of stretch and just, yeah, I'm the bad guy on the block, you know, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I know this is just a 6-point, or most likely just a 6-point, but, like, he ain't your old East Texas 6. Like, this is a massive old deer who does not care about my grunt calls. Ooh. See persimmons in the foreground there. Mm-hmm. Here's that. See, right now is one of those times in open country where you just are unsure a little bit about what to do with your rattling antlers. When you finally get their attention, it's like...
We run into it in Kansas a lot, right? Where, like, you just don't know, like, should you keep rattling? Or should you stop? Does he know what's going on?
Yeah, and it's like, is it suspicious if you stop as soon as he looks to that deer? You know, I don't know if deer even understand suspicion, right? But like, you don't want him to be like, why is all that movement going on up in that tree?
Oh, dude.
He's slob, man.
He is a slob.
Like, what does this deer weigh?
I don't know. That neck, dude, it's just rolling.
Yeah. And I always have to think that
He's scraping right there, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's his front leg move. I don't know if I've ever noticed that.
And I'm assuming that's an aggression scrape, right?
Mm-hmm. I would think so, too.
He's ready to whoop some tail. Oh.
Like, is there seriously a scrape on every little tree out there?
Probably. We don't even realize it.
Feels like it.
And this goes on for quite a while.
I mean, this is one of the most epic days we've ever had on Texas Public.
There's a lot of stuff going on this day.
I mean, we've had some fun days, but this just, I don't know if we'll ever have them like this again, man.
I know it.
Just really awesome thing to experience.
And this is where, again, it pays to have some patience, and I'm real bad at it. But, see here. Somebody else responded to the rattling. It's that same buck that I passed earlier. Or I say passed. He was 60 yards off and tried to not mess with. The old MK pass, if you know what I mean. But, so here's my big buck.
How far?
90.
Mm-hmm.
It's 60. That dirt mound's like 48.
Okay. Okay. It looks a little bit further. Or it looks closer than it is, I guess.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I'm zoomed in pretty good right here. But that 7-point is behind me at like 25 yards right now during all of this, trying to figure out where the deer are that are fighting.
Where's your wind blowing?
At him. at the smaller deer.
Right.
Yeah, here we go. See?
Is he in this frame? Oh, there he is.
He's fixing to be. Yeah, right there. Oh, he's at like 18 yards right there.
Oh, yeah. He about to get that smell, isn't he?
I don't understand this. I guess that's just wind noise in the GoPro there. But my wind is blowing at that beaver chewed log right there.
Okay.
Kinda, I think. Kind of.
Top left of the screen if you're looking at it.
So, and you can see where he's walking to.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I didn't have to be looking at this deer. Look, he's looking up at me right there. He didn't catch me right then.
Too many limbs in the way.
Yeah, but like, in hindsight, I could have just not worried about him. And just if he saw me, he saw me. But at the same time, I was thinking, if I do get the draw on this other buck, I don't want that deer to be right underneath me and just
flip out. Yeah.
So it's kind of a catch-22, really.
So you think he smelled you right there?
I don't think he smelled me yet.
Okay, he's still...
I think he's trying to.
Still working.
You see up and down, like he's getting a little whiff or something.
Probably swirling
well,
around
that's
that creek
probably
right there.
My entrance trail is probably what he's smelling right there. It's hot, like I don't know if you actually do put off more scent when it's hot versus cold. Also, guys, don't wear your sunglasses in the tree stand, especially when they're reflective blue.
I hate not having them when it's bright, and then I end up with them in a tree stand. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
So he just blew right there, I guess, huh? Did you hear that?
I was listening.
I'm pretty sure he blew right there.
Yeah, probably, because this buck is acting weird now. Yeah, he's ticked.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
You hear him blowing too.
It's definitely that smell you or saw you blue too. Like he's not like I'm running away. He's like I'm gonna stand over here and make everybody's life miserable.
Look at the black mane on that sucker on the back. That is an awesome.
But see, like, why is he looking out there? Is he thinking that buck smelled or saw something, so he's gonna look out there?
Possibly. Man, look at that deer, dude.
I think he's at like 65 yards right there.
Makes me sick.
I contemplated shooting at him. I really did.
Got some good footage of him there.
Yeah.
Man, he's heavy. Got good beams. Look
at
that belly on
gut.
the sucker.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, there
brows.
you know.
Look at those brow tines.
Dude, I would have considered shoulder mounting this deer for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Man, persimmons in the forehead.
Yeah, that's how you know, man. Them Sims.
Are you pulling that grunt call out?
Yeah, that's right. I was extending the little tube on it, and then here, everything goes awry. Because that deer's not wigged completely. And then he's like...
there's a chance he tries to work downwind and comes within range of you.
Yeah, the only way for him to go downwind is to...
Come by you.
Come by me.
Yeah. Because of the creeks and everything.
Or at least within reason. I guess you could cross the creek wherever we wanted to, but if he's going to take a trail, which they do a lot of times in that scenario, to cross the creek, look how red that pig is.
Dude, that is just nuts.
That is straight down. I could spit on this hog, like straight down.
Remember when I fed that possum that popped out?
I do. I do. That was if you want to watch that hunt, we'll put that down below. But that was the day we scared off a giant deer.
Yes, one of a few days we've done that.
Yeah, but I could have shot these little dudes. Probably should have, but I'm just disgusted.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
I guess I just wasn't meant to kill that big 6'9".
I guess I wasn't.
Man, I had rattled that sucker in from 300 But I also rattled in that little 7-point that I'd seen earlier.
Healthy looking little deer right
It is,
there.
man. Just butterball.
Downwind right here and blew. And that messed up the whole thing. The big deer wasn't ever spooked. But then these pigs came in and stood underneath my tree and made a bunch of noise. And then they smelled me. And that big deer decided it was just too much and you just got out of here. You can probably still hear those hogs out there being stupid. I shoot one just because they made me mad. That was a big buck. That was a wall.
So that was a big buck, as
Yeah.
I said there. I end up linking up with you and going recovering your deer, which is an awesome deal in itself. And then you and I end up going back and hunting here the next evening to try to maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of deer around.
Yeah,
I didn't know if we'd have opportunity with that big buck or not.
I mean, that buck that I missed the day before went your
Should've
way.
been this way
And I was
somewhere.
like, oh man, this could be good.
So before we get into that hunt, we'll talk a little bit about this situation here, and maybe it's pretty self-explanatory what happened, but I don't know. Maybe you can help me come up with some things that could have been done different. It's real hard to say, especially in the moment. You always think you're making the best choices you can. I do think that I could have been more still in the tree and not had that younger deer see me or smell me, or I don't know. Being still doesn't help with your smell. Let me reiterate. But maybe he saw me as opposed to smelled me or something.
Yeah.
I think that I could have rattled a little less at the beginning. Once I had his attention, I think I probably
Just let
had
him
him.
come or whatever, yeah.
And I went ahead because he put his head back down and kind of continued on his path, and I rattled more. And because I wanted,
Feel like
I wanted to come over here, So
What's crazy to me, and I was going to ask you about this, he worked pretty slow towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is?
I think he's the baddest dude in the woods in his mind. He's not the biggest racked deer, but that deer's okay. Aging's a weird thing, but I'm going to go ahead and say that deer's 5-year-old plus deer because he has 6 points, and he probably used to be an 8-point. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where 6 points usually come from. Mm-hmm. So he's probably pretty old, and he's just not super. It's 75 degrees too. Mm-hmm. He's not super wanting to run over there.
It's kind of early in the rut too.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's probably it.
Yeah,
and he probably knows where I'm at right there, that those deer aren't going to go anywhere either, because that's where the persimmons and does all are as well. So I just don't think he was in a big hurry. Yeah. But you can see that little 7-point was. He was like willing to backtrack and come back. So
that's a
really
tough situation.
And
man.
I think too, like, there was a chance for me to kill that deer even after that 7-point blew, but those hogs messed it up. Like, that deer knew that those bucks weren't there. The bucks, the rattling bucks, weren't there anymore once those hogs were at the base of my tree. He's like, well, those deer aren't going to stick around. So he's out of there.
Man, it's just like, you kind of wonder, like, man, if those hogs hadn't showed up, because you almost want to say, like, well, the hogs made it feel like everything's okay to them, but really the idea is that they were under your stand and the buck's not going to walk right to a hog. Like, they don't want to do that. So there's no reason for him to go there now that he knows that there's hogs there.
It's not like he's scared of those pigs, but he just knows that the deer aren't there.
Yeah.
And so he is concerned about deer. But anyways, we had another really good hunt there the next evening. Go watch that video if you haven't yet, and let us know what you think about that deal. I also made a poor choice there as well, so you can give me some ridicule. I don't know. It was a good choice in a moment. I'm trying to make sure and stay within the range of the law, and you just don't want to shoot a deer that is doesn't qualify antler-wise on a property on public land, especially when we put our stuff on video for y'all to watch. So, anyways, remember to go watch that, and remember, this is your element.
Live in it.